Welcome to Sam Stories, where we break down psychology with simple stories. All right, let's talk about something we've all felt. That sudden, hot flash of anger that makes you just want to, well, lash out. But what is that switch? What flips inside our brains and makes us snap? In this explainer, we're going to get into the psychology behind why we get aggressive. Let's dive in. I want you to really think about it for a second. Come on, be honest. And I don't mean just a little ticked off or kind of annoyed. I mean, when was the last time you were truly bone-deep angry? Yeah, we've all been there. It's a super powerful and sometimes, let's face it, a scary human emotion. Because that anger can spiral out of control like incredibly fast. We've all seen it or heard the stories, right? A minor inconvenience, just a parking ticket, suddenly turns into someone smashing a mirror. A simple disagreement at a party turns into a full-blown fight. So what's going on here? Why do we sometimes let ourselves get so worked up over things that seem so tiny later on? Well, to get to the bottom of this, psychologists have come up with a few key explanations. We're going to look at three big ideas today: the instinct theory, the frustration-aggression theory, and the social learning theory. Think of them as three different puzzle pieces to solving the mystery of why we lose our cool. First up, the instinct theory. This one asks a pretty heavy question. What if aggression isn't something that just happens to us, but something that's already baked right inside of us? Just an unavoidable part of being human. This idea goes way, way back to the OG of psychology, Sigmund Freud. At first, he thought everything we do comes from a life instinct he called eros, the drive to survive, to create, all that good stuff. But he realized that couldn't explain everything, especially our darker, more destructive side. So Freud came up with a second competing drive: Thanatos, the death instinct. He believed we all have this built-in pull towards self-destruction and aggression. He saw our lives as this constant tug of war between Eros, pushing us toward life, and Thanatos, pulling us toward, well, the end. Now here's the kicker. To keep that death instinct from making us destroy ourselves, our minds pull a clever trick. They turn that energy outward, so that self-destructive urge becomes aggression aimed at other people. Basically, according to this theory, it's a twisted defense mechanism. We lash out to stay alive. Wild, right? Okay, next up is a totally different way of looking at the problem. It's called the frustration-aggression theory, and it connects a feeling we all know, frustration, directly to the act of aggression. The theory is actually pretty straightforward. It basically says that aggression is the direct result of being frustrated, of having your path to a goal blocked. And that goal could be anything, big or small: finishing a project, getting that promotion, or even just trying to open a stubborn jar of pickles. The more blocked you feel, the more likely you are to lash out. Oh, you have totally been there. Your computer freezes right before you hit save and you slam your hand on the desk. You're late for a meeting, stuck in traffic, and you just start laying on the horn. According to this theory, those aren't just random outbursts. They are aggressive acts born directly from your frustration. It kind of makes a lot of sense when you think about it. And this isn't just a hunch. It's been studied. Check this out. In a classic experiment, researchers put some really awesome toys behind a wire screen and let a group of kids just look at them but not touch them. You can just imagine the frustration building up, right? Well, when they finally took the screen away, those frustrated kids didn't just play, they went nuts. They were smashing and throwing the toys way more than the kids who were just given the toys from the start. But what if aggression isn't an instinct we're born with, or just a reaction to frustration? What if it's something we learn? This brings us to our third and final theory, the social learning theory. The big name here is Albert Bandura. Back in the 60s, he came up with a game-changing idea for the time, that aggression isn't built in, it's learned. Specifically, he said we learn how to be aggressive by observing the people around us, our parents, our friends, even characters on TV. Bandura proved his point with one of the most famous and kind of crazy experiments in psychology history, the Bobo doll experiment. He had kids watch an adult in a room with a big inflatable doll. Some kids saw the adult play nice, but others saw the adult just go to town, punching, kicking, and yelling at the doll. Then, after making the kids a little frustrated, they left them alone with the same doll. The result was unreal. The kids who saw the aggressive adult copied them almost exactly. This showed off a super powerful concept called observational learning. It means we don't always need to be told what to do to learn something. Sometimes we just learn by watching. Bandura showed that aggression could be passed down from person to person, almost like a learned skill. Okay, so we've looked at three really different explanations: aggression as an inner demon, as a reaction to a blocked path, and as a copycat behavior. So which one is it? What's the real reason we snap?
Let's do a quick recap. The instinct theory says it's this inescapable drive from inside us. The frustration aggression theory says it's a reaction to something outside of us. And the social learning theory says it's a behavior we just copy from others. They all seem to have a point, don't they?
The reality is, there probably isn't one single simple answer. Modern psychology pretty much suggests the truth as a messy mix of all three. I mean, think about it. Maybe someone is born with a shorter fuse, right? That's the instinct theory. Then that fuse gets lit when they get stuck in traffic. That's frustration aggression. And how they react, by yelling specific insults they heard their parents use, well, that's social learning. It all fits together.
And that leads to the final question I want to leave you with. Looking at these three ideas, which one really clicks with you? Which one makes you go, oh yeah, that's totally it? Or can you see moments where all three have played a part? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and hey, tell us where you're watching from.
Okay, one last thing. It's important to remember we're sharing this for informational purposes, so please use this knowledge responsibly and at your own risk. Understanding the roots of aggression is a powerful tool. If you found this useful and you're serious about figuring out how your mind works, then this is a must-watch explainer for you. And trust me, we've got a ton of other videos just like it, so make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching.